You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwwann B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
I'm gonna play this quick ad from one of my sponsors, and then we gonna get right to it. You did.
The Cosmic Alignment Workshop, Sunday, May the 15th. That's Sunday, May the 15th, featuring King Simon, the Numeral Vader. And don't forget, the one, the only, Coach Helen, spiritual business and Zen bar owner, with Blue Pillar 44, the 44 resonator, alongside the one, the only, Ellison Nedra, the modern day sage. All happening at the Cosmic Alignment Workshop on May the 15th. Go get your tickets right now at zenbar.org. That's www.zenbar.org. That's right, it's the Cosmic Alignment Workshop on May the 15th. And don't forget, we'll be going to Delaware. That's right, on June the 19th. Make sure you come on out and have a good time with Lloyd Strayhorn, King Simon, and Ellison Nedra on June the 19th in Delaware.
My man, King Simon. I'm going to play that one more time because I messed up the beginning part.
The Cosmic Alignment Workshop, Sunday, May the 15th. That's Sunday, May the 15th, featuring King Simon, the Numeral Vader. And don't forget, the one, the only, Coach Helen, spiritual business and Zen bar owner, with Blue Pillar 44, the 44 resonator, alongside the one, the only, Ellison Nedra, the modern day sage. All happening at the Cosmic Alignment Workshop on May the 15th. Go get your tickets right now at zenbar.org. That's www.zenbar.org. That's right, it's the Cosmic Alignment Workshop on May the 15th. And don't forget, we'll be going to Delaware. That's right, on June the 19th. Make sure you come on out and have a good time with Lloyd Strayhorn, King Simon, and Ellison Nedra on June the 19th in Delaware.
salute to King Simon, man. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all need to contact that brother when it comes to numerology readings. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, 5-6 years ago, you tell me about some numerology, I'm gonna tell you to kiss my ass. I ain't doing none of that shit. 15 years ago, when I ought to have been like, man, the word of Jesus say don't fuck with that. And I would have been like, man, I would have looked at you like some goddamn weirdo 15 years ago if you told me about some numerology. But let me tell you something. I opened my mind to it. And I got a reading from King Simon about 3 years ago. So now I get one about every October, November. Usually those are the times that for my personal calendar when I do it. But for you, I encourage you to call them now because quite honestly, like this show that I got going right now, it really came after my first reading with King Simon. And he told me about my path, my chart, you know, as far as podcasting. His numerology meeting just on my birthday alone was like, yeah, nah, you need to be doing. And I was like, man, I've been playing with this podcast game. Like I start and I stop, and I mostly stop than I am starting. Since like 2011, I would do like 3 podcasts and like not do a podcast for like 2 years. But like after I had my reading with him, he was like, nah, man, bro, that's like the path. Like you're a talent. I could tell, you know, I could by your chart, you good at talking that shit or whatever. He didn't say that, but those are my words of what he was saying. He said it in a way more professional manner. But yeah, you know, and the business that I have, Breakthrough, all that stuff, a lot of that stuff came out after my first reading with him. And so I encourage you to do that. You know, he's down. He's the reason why I know Kendall. You know, Kendall the hypnotist. I got introduced to her through King Simon. So I encourage y'all to, if you got some questions in life, you're not quite sure what you want to do, which direction to go in, hit this brother up. But yeah, tonight I want to welcome everybody here in the chat room. I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you. I want to welcome you. I want to welcome everybody in the chat room except Larry. Everybody else, welcome Quan, welcome Star. What's up, Great Black Shark? Knockout Noda, what up, y'all? Welcome. So you say more than you're trying to learn. If you want to learn more on numerology, hit up King Simon. King Simon also read his book, Numerovation. Numbers are on Numerovation. He has a number called People Are. I'm sorry, King Simon, if I messed this up, but numbers are simple, people are hard. I forgot the name of it because he didn't pay me to advertise the book. I read the book. I'm telling you guys, I read the book myself too, and it taught me all I need to know about numerology because I thought numerology was some weird. I was on that Jesus shit, y'all. I'm telling y'all. And when I got out the Jesus shit, I still wasn't about to fuck with no numerology. I thought that's what the weirdos did. I was like, man, get that weird shit out my face. It was really King Simon was a cat that really showed me what the science was. And I was like, yo, damn, it's like that with just the numbers? I better hit that brother up. Yeah, hit everybody. Welcome everybody in here. What's up, Jayla? Yeah, welcome everybody in here. Well, I was there last night at the Hollywood Bowl. Yeah, Willie Beeman, hit him up. Hit him up, cause numbers are like numbers, man. Shit. I thought that shit was just for math and algebra. I didn't know there was no chart thing going on. But yeah, I was at the Hollywood Bowl last night. And a funny thing happened. Some dude ran on stage and tried to Bill Goldberg, Dave Chappelle. And Chappelle hit him with a swift move, and he did like, what I would do, and stomp that motherfucker out. If somebody ran on stage with Larry on stage. If that was Larry on stage last night, Larry Goodwin in the chat, if that was him on stage last night, that dude would have successfully tackled him, and he would have beat the dog shit out of Larry. Larry, he would have had the front of your face getting pounded by his fist, and the back of your head getting pounded by the ground, nigga. That's how he would have had you, nigga. But yeah, man, like, and the thing about it is at the Hollywood Bowl, you can't bring yourself, like Dave Chappelle, you got to put your cell phones in his sack. One thing about Chappelle, he do this everywhere. He do this when he at the Improv. Shit. I saw this about a few months ago. Chappelle was at the Improv working on the set. And yeah, if you wanted to go into the Improv, you had to put your phone in his sack. And so anywhere Chappelle's performing, you're not going to be able to bring your cell phone. Of course, there's going to be a few people that find a way to sneak it through, but for me, it ain't that serious. I have absolutely no issue with sitting my phone down for 3 or 4 hours to be entertained. I have no issue with sitting my phone down. Some motherfuckers be on their phone too heavy anyway. And, you know, the Hollywood Bowl, that's my home venue. Now, I say there's any venue in the world. Me and my wife, we've been to easily, over the last 20 years, we've been to well over 100 shows at the Hollywood. I would say, shit, probably over close to 200 shows at the Hollywood Bowl, if not more. Because we usually go to about 8 to 10 shows every summer at the Hollywood Bowl. And cool thing with us, like, nigga, we got the hookups. We got there, and I won't say late, we got there right on time. But since we go so much, the staff know us, so we got to drive past, right up, park right behind the Hollywood Bowl where the ambulance was when the old boy was getting carted out. I was parked right back there. So salute to the Hollywood Bowl. They always hook a nigga up when I come. They always show me the line that ain't got nobody in it. So it was fun being back in my home venue. And if you're in LA, I encourage you to go to the Hollywood Bowl for shows. Usually I'm there on Wednesday nights. In the summertime, they have a jazz series, 8 shows a summer. I'm usually at either, if I'm not at all 8, I'll be at least 6 of the 8. And they have different, things that they do throughout the year. You can bring your own food. You can bring your own alcohol. Last night you couldn't bring your own alcohol because it was a Ticketmaster event. But if it's a Hollywood Bowl event, you can bring your whole spread and you can bring your weed. Smoke on the smoking patio. They ain't gonna harass you. They may harass you if you smoke in your seat, but you go to where the smoking patio is, you can smoke all the weed you want. You can bring as much liquor into that motherfucker as you want. You can bring everything in except for a gun or a knife. That leads me to add, and I said all that to say, how the fuck did this nigga get in the Hollywood Bowl last night with a fake gun and a knife? Well, the news say fake gun. I don't believe them. I think it's real. They just trying to minimize the shit. How did this motherfucker, Dave Chappelle, got tackled by a Tekken 3 character on Sega Genesis on PlayStation 1? This nigga looked like somebody that Zangief beat on Street Fighter 2. Who is this motherfucker right here? This random motherfucker was able to get on stage with a gun and a knife when in a venue that wouldn't let you bring your cell phone in. How the fuck? You mean to tell me y'all could stop a cell phone from getting through, but you couldn't stop a knife? And we got Dave motherfucking Chappelle there, nigga? What? What kind of shit is this? Overall, the night was a good night. They said he had a gun-shaped knife. How the fuck do you get in the Hollywood Bowl with a gun-shaped knife when I couldn't get in the Hollywood Bowl with my cell phone. Hell, y'all was checking people's coolers to make sure they weren't bringing liquor bottles in. And normally the Hollywood Bowl, like I said, a normal Hollywood Bowl event, you can bring liquor. But when Ticketmaster leases the venue out and it's a private event, they don't let you bring liquor in because they want to buy out, they want to keep all the money. You know, DwannBrown still finds a way to bring his liquor in, allegedly. Just pour some vodka in a water bottle. It all looked the same, you dig? But anyway, allegedly, I don't know who did that. Someone told me about it. Someone told me that's kind of how you get it in. Just pour your vodka in, or your tequila, you know, in the water bottle and fill it up to the top and close it up real tight. And somebody told me that they can't tell the difference between water and vodka, so you can be good. You dig? But anyway, back to my story. These motherfuckers let him in with a knife. And the funny part about it is this. Earlier that night, Chris Rock performed. And this is the part that had me laughing and tripping. Chris Rock, I'm going to start off by saying I'm in no way berating him or minimizing his greatness. He is a great comedian, one of the greatest to ever do it. But when he came out, it was a huge standing ovation when he came out. And this was the sense that I got, because Chappelle attracts the people of color crowd. You know, the multiculti motherfuckers. The people that's from the same side of the world Larry's from, somewhere over there in the Middle East. People from Asia, people from Canada, South America. Niggas, of course. So when Chris Rock was announced, it was a whole lot of energy. And when he addressed the whole Will Smith energy situation, man, all of the multicultis were happy as hell. The white folks, the multicultis was like, go on, Chris Rock, you did the right thing. While most of the niggas was rolling their eyes. Like, man, that nigga punked you, bruh. It was funny seeing the difference in reaction. Which got me thinking. I was like, you know, it's funny how accepting others are of black people who are nonviolent. And I have no issues with nonviolence. Hell, I'm nonviolent for the most part. I don't like violence. I am a whatever level it takes to diffuse a situationist. If I can diffuse a situation with nonviolence, which I can do most of the time because I'm a great rhetorician, hit my Patreon up, and we're going to be talking more and more deeply about that with my new book coming out. My new book on non-confrontational communication. So I'm all about non-confrontational. But at the same time, if after somebody puts hands on you, the level has escalated to a point to where words can't suffice. But, you know, when Chris Rock came on talking tough, and all of the multicultis just loved it, I'll be like, damn. It makes these multicultis feel real good when they know they got a black man who under no circumstances ever is going to resort to violence. That shit had me thinking. Chris Rock overall had a good set, but then he always had, Chris Rock, he gets his fame, and I was having this conversation with my man Mark Prince. Salute to Mark Prince. I love that brother, comedian. Opens up for Eddie Griffin sometimes. Dope brother. If y'all listen to 5150, y'all done heard Corey talk about Mark. But we were talking about the whole Chris Rock situation and how one day, this is right the day after the whole Will Smith situation happened. And he brought up a really good point. And it was like, you know, Chris Rock, he gets paid to say shit about niggas white people want to say. he ain't gonna necessarily flood his whole set with that, but he's gonna have a key joke within his set that goes hard specifically at black men or black women. Remember the whole Janet Jackson situation with Justin Timberlake? He didn't make Justin Timberlake to look to be the villain. He put Janet Jackson out there as the villain. When he talked about the difference between black people and niggas. So last night he had a joke, and I don't want to give it away because I think his next special, I'm going to watch his next special. I think it's going to be funny. Because he was funny as hell last night. But he had a joke where he said black people listen to Michael Jackson but want to cancel R. Kelly. And I'm like, yo, bruh. And I'm these white people, and I'm in a room, and mind you, the Hollywood Bowl is 18,000 deep. This place is sold out. And black people make up, it's probably about the same percentage of black people in there as it is in LA. Probably a little more, it's probably 10% black in there. 15 max. The rest of the place is the others. And to hear and be sitting amongst all them others as they laughing at Michael Jackson get shitted on, I ain't cool with that. Like, it was a white comic that was on earlier that night talking shit about Michael Jackson and kids. It's like, why can't Michael Jackson rest in peace? He was investigated by the FBI for an extended period of time. They couldn't find nothing. He went to trial, got acquitted. These Wade Robertson dude and these cats that came out with that Navy Neverland, the judge threw they shit out and made to where they can't even sue anymore the rest of their life because it ain't shit there. Supreme Court just last year came out and said there's nothing there with Michael Jackson. And we got black men making these jokes about Michael Jackson. And then how can you get that mad that white folks are doing it when you got the main niggas on TV, the first ones to talk about it? And then on top of that, I'm not here to defend R. Kelly because y'all know, y'all regular listeners, y'all know, I don't even like R. Kelly's music outside of the 12 Play album and Honey Love and Step in the Name of Love and Happy People. I can name 3 songs and half of one album that I like from him. But R. Kelly, take it or leave it, I could leave him. I could easily go 2 years without ever playing an R. Kelly song in my mix. I don't think I've ever even played him on Incense and Ashtrays. I don't think I have. I haven't. Have I played R. Kelly? All the songs that I play, I be forgetting, but I seriously doubt I've ever even played them on my radio show. But the man wasn't convicted of rape. He was convicted of RICO charges. I'm like, look, if he did something, lock his ass up for what he did. Don't tell me he did one thing and then lock him up for some Mann Act, a racist ass law that y'all enacted back in 1910 because of Jack Johnson. That's right, Quan Star. Yeah, y'all listen to Incense and Ashtrays. I've never played his music. I'm not a fan of R. Kelly. But I'm the kind of person, if somebody did something, put him in jail for that. You can't, I'm not looking, it's a lot of, let's just tell the truth. It's a lot of dumb motherfuckers walking around Earth these days. You dig? You can tell them ABC, 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 ABC. 3 letters, A, B, C. ABC, A, then B, then C. And then turn around and put them in jail for F, G, and Y. And as long as that person's a nigga that happened to, and as long as it's a white media saying that nigga did it, you niggas are gonna go right along with it. You let them get you emotionally riled up over ABC, 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 ABC. Your emotions get riled up over ABC, and then they give you Z and X, and your dumb ass don't even ask any questions. I'm not speaking to anyone in particular, but if this does ring a bell to you, then yes, you're the dumbass. How do you allow them to get your emotions riled up over one thing, and that thing that got you emotionally riled up over ain't even what the motherfucker's on trial for? I don't like to, I do like talking shit, but like, I don't like to misappropriate labels. But if this label fits you, you may not be dumb overall, but you was dumb in this moment. Let them niggas tell you one thing that they did one thing, and then a trial about some whole other shit. We supposed to be having a trial about apples and oranges. You saying this fat nigga, it's a fat nigga on trial, and you be like, hey, this fat nigga been stealing lasagna. This nigga think he Garfield going around. See how fat this nigga is? He's stealing lasagna plates. Nigga went down to Sal's Italian food and stole all of Sal's lasagna. This fat bastard. Look at this fat motherfucker stealing lasagna. And then the trial come, and then you find out this nigga's on trial for playing loud music. But you done got so emotionally riled up at this fat nigga. You don't like fat people anyway. Hell, I don't like fat people either. You know I'm fat. I'm the only fat person I like. I don't like the rest. I don't like any of you other fat motherfuckers. And that's how y'all think. I don't like fat people. This fat bastard stole that lasagna. Fat motherfucker you. And then the trial is about playing loud music. And your dumb ass be like, he needs to go to jail anyway. He must have stolen lasagna. Look at him. Look at that fat motherfucker's belly. You don't get that fat without stealing the lasagna. There's plenty of ways to get fat. But you let the media convince you this fat motherfucker got fat by stealing lasagna. So you played part in the lynch mob, and you got him sent to jail for 10 years just for playing loud music. That's how this game works. That's what happened with both Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Got you emotionally riled up over one thing, and what they got convicted for was on a whole nother side of the planet, a whole nother topic. They didn't even have evidence to back what they were saying when they got you emotionally riled up. So that's what Chris Rock did. Chris Rock went up there and told a joke about Michael Jackson and R. Kelly as a black man, which in the mind of the white supremacists give them cause to continue to berate, denigrate, and degrade the black man, even though there's no fucking evidence to support the degradation of these brothers. So that happened. And then the Jabberwockies performed. I was on the phone with Larry earlier today about that. I can't stand the Jabberwockies. The Jabberwocky, man, if you don't get that old cheese pizza, garden variety ass bullshit out of here. Y'all remember when Shaq performed with the Jabberwockies at All-Star Game in Phoenix? I was there for that game too. Shit, I be all over this goddamn globe. I be forgetting how many stories I got. But I was there when Shaq performed with the Jabberwockies at the intro of the 2009 All-Star Game in Phoenix. Was it 2009, 2010? It was one of them years. It was in Phoenix. I was at that game. Man, Shaq outdanced all them motherfuckers. You can find niggas right now somewhere. You can find about 4 or 5 different crews of niggas in every project around the country. You can find niggas in any club across the world that can outdance the Jabberwockies. Why Dave Chappelle had the Jabberwockies there, I don't know. So after the Jabberwockies, Chappelle came on stage. And Chappelle ripped that motherfucker. I mean, I'm telling y'all right now, Dave Chappelle is the greatest stand-up comedian ever. I don't want to rank. My all-time favorite is still Robin Harris. Corey Holcomb's always going to be in my top 5. I really think, I don't know how they had a whole Netflix It's a Joke stand-up comedy festival and Corey Holcomb not in that motherfucker. He the only person I put up there with Dave Chappelle in a lot of ways. Bernie Mac, rest in peace. Eddie Murphy and Robin Harris, personally, Eddie Murphy and Robin Harris can always be my 2 all-time favorites. Because them motherfuckers, they was the shit when I was a kid. You never put your childhood icons to the side for anybody. But Dave Chappelle's also somewhat of a childhood icon. He played Achu in Robin Hood Men in Tights. That was one of the funniest movies of all time. It came out like in 93. I was like in the 7th grade. Robin Hood Men in Tights. Carrie Elways and Dave Chappelle. And he played Achu. I love that goddamn movie. I know that movie line by line. I love that goddamn movie. But, nigga, Dave Chappelle, and look, as a comedian, it's hard as fuck to do a new hour. This motherfucker Dave Chappelle will come up with a whole new hour set in a month or two, and every nigga will have you crying, laughing every 10 seconds. Integrated with social commentary. Yeah, Sinbad is at the top for me. God damn, I love Sinbad. But with the shit that Dave Chappelle's doing right now, he can really give you a deep ass message and have you crying laughing. Who the fuck calling me? Fuck off my phone, goddamn spam callers. Oh, that's not spam, that's my web guy. Actually, I want to talk to that guy. We gotta talk later. Ooh, and I gotta call my tenant back. One of my tenants needed something from me. I gotta call him back. But what was I talking about? What am I? Oh yeah, I'm talking about hit me back in the chat room. What the fuck was I talking about before my call came through? Yeah, I like J. Anthony Brown, but I like J. Anthony Brown. Hell, when the J Spot was open, they had a political commentary show on Taco Tuesday, and I used to host that for a little bit. But Dave had us dying laughing, and then Dave did a joke about about Will Smith and Chris Rock. And he was like, man, I hope that motherfucker Chris Rock ain't back there, because he was like, basically, Dave, the gist of the joke was, I respect them both because I can see myself in both. And that's real talk. We say I can see myself as a motherfucker that can't take it no more. And I also see myself as the person that, I'm not gonna necessarily whoop your ass because it's a bigger picture here. So he said, and I hear where he was coming from. I respect his perspective on that. He played it down. Dave Chappelle did a great job of playing it down the middle, but not pandering to either side at the same time. He played it down the middle, but stayed true to himself. And as an artist, as a rhetorician, as someone who speaks publicly, that's a very, very, very tough line to walk. The line between respecting other people's perspective and seeing it from their perspective while still maintaining your truth. You can only do that if you're being 100% authentic. That's the only reason why someone like Dave Chappelle can pull that off. You can't pull that off and be fake. A fake nigga is gonna lean either way, and it's gonna kind of sound crass. It's gonna probably get delivered in a tacky way. So Dave Chappelle did that. And then Dave Chappelle ends the night. When we think it ends, he says, thank you, good night. So a lot of people started walking away. A lot of people started leaving. And then he came back out and said, no, don't leave yet, motherfuckers. You see them bringing out a DJ set. And he started introducing. He's like, coming out next, we're going to have Mad Lib on the ones and twos. And for the first time in 24 years, Gangstar is going to be here tonight. So he gets to introducing Talib Kweli. And y'all know I got my issues with that cat. But more so, he got issues with me. I don't give a fuck about no Talib Kweli. That nigga be on my Instagram talking shit. I don't even follow this nigga, so. But that's a whole nother. Y'all know the story about me and Talib Kweli. Anyway, it's still. I'm not a Gangstar fan. I didn't listen to that music like that, but my wife loved him. I remember me and my wife talking about Gangstar back when they came out, back when we was in high school. And it was a lot of people there who do like Gangstar, so I'm not gonna be the one. And I have a lot of love and respect for Yasin Bey, Mos Def. I like Mos Def. I can't listen to more than 3 Mos Def songs at one sitting, but I still respect it. I'm the kind of person, I ain't gotta like your art to know that you're a god at what you do. So Mos Def, he's definitely a god at what he do, even though that sound ain't necessarily my sound. Yeah, I said Gangstar. I meant Black Star. I said Did I say Gangstar? Black Star. Like the black star in the sky. They going, that's some astrology shit. And I said Gangstar. What the fuck? So this motherfucker, Gangstar, Black Star, is getting ready to get introduced. And here come this motherfucker from the side, running out. And he tackles or tries to tackle Dave Chappelle. Gets up and starts running. They tackle that motherfucker on stage where he falls. He fell. Hands, feet, elbows, knees, and all the extremities got lodged all up in that nigga's ass. Yeah, thumbs up for the dyslexic. And hit the like button, please. Yeah, I'm goddamn dyslexic. I call Atlantic Star Midnight Star all the time. You got the Midas touch. Wrong band, nigga. That's not Atlantic Star. Atlantic Star is Secret Lovers. But I will quickly tell you that Midnight Star sang Secret Lovers because God damn it, they both got stars in their name. And you motherfuckers get it, so no need to get all in a tizzy. The shit's over with. You knew who I was talking about when I said Talib Kweli and Mos Def? Shit. Hell, when I was a kid, sometimes watching Laker games, I would get Kobe Bryant and Eddie Jones confused because they on the court back in 1997 they looked exactly alike. So the dude does that. It could have been was Joe made a flip? It could have been the joke that Dave Chappelle talked about the trans community. He said that basically, he forget the trans. He wanted to forget the trans community. He wanted to say everything was cool. He wanted that. But the trans community tried to get him canceled and get him fired. So he was like, fuck them. That shit was so goddamn funny. You got to hear the actual joke the way he set it up, though. I'm not going to get that away. What he basically said, since the trans community tried to get him fired, fuck him. And Dave Chappelle actually used the word fag on stage last night. It's great to see that word making a comeback, because sometimes it applies, not to everybody, but to some. And he definitely used it in the right context. It's fucking great. Larry, if you tried to tackle me like that, boy, I'd take a step back. I'd trip you, dog. And I put all 345 pounds of my knee in the back of your neck, nigga. So that's what happened. That's what happened. This nigga, Dave Chappelle, sits the mic down. After he sits the mic down, he goes and proceeds to getting his fresh white sneakers bloodied up and browned up. I'm sure there's a shit stain on Chappelle's sneakers right now. And I'm pretty sure that shit stain goes all the way up to the ankle. But that's how far Dave Chappelle put his foot in that motherfucker's ass. He stuck his foot so far up his ass. That shit was like on House Party. I'm gonna stick my foot so far up in your ass, you gonna be shitting snicker for a month. I'm sure Dave Chappelle's shoes got blood, chips of skin, and dookie all on them motherfuckers. For them feet, he lodged in that motherfucker's ass. Mind you, people, I'm not gonna be here too long today. As a matter of fact, I got an interview with some Canadian news network that they follow me on Twitter. They saw I was there, so they hit me up. Was like, would you mind coming on, yeah? Would you mind coming on our news channel, I might go around and speak in some Canadian. I might go around and start saying, don't you know? I think I'm gonna speak in Canadian on this event. I'm gonna say, well, I don't know what the fight was about. I'm not gonna look. If I gotta say the word about when I'm interviewing with this Canadian news network, I'm not gonna say about. They ain't gonna understand where I'm coming from. Canadians they don't know what the word about means. I'm gonna say, was it about? I'm gonna keep saying about, so I can relate to my Canadian brethren and sistren. I'm down with you Canadian motherfuckers, so I'm gonna say about, just so we can all, get along and be speaking the same language. The fight was about, I think it was about him saying something to the trans community, and the trans community didn't like what it was about. I think I'm just gonna keep saying about, just so I can relate to my Canadian friends when I do their news show. I think it's about time that I whoop Larry's ass. The next time Larry comes to LA, there's gonna be a big time for me to karate chop that nigga to the throat. That's what it's about time to do. That's what I'm gonna tell the news network. Yeah. Y'all know I got a stand-up show, a comedy show I'm about to be putting on. I think it's gonna be sometime in June or July. I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna do a Incense and Ashtrays comedy review. I'm gonna have about some of the best comics in LA. It's gonna be about in mid-June, about that time. Hit the number 1 if you think you can make it, if you live in LA and you want to come to one of my comedy shows. Hit the number 1 in the chat room right now. Let me know about if you're gonna come or not. But what's up, Chris, in the chat room? Yeah, I'm gonna do I miss hosting. I used to host a lot of stand-up comedy shows. I miss hosting. That's how I got started. I miss hosting comedy shows because I like to when I do comedy, I improv. I don't really have written down jokes. I have some jokes that I go to, but for the most part, I improv my way through all of my comedy, and I like to connect to the people in the room. Are you fly out? That's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that, No Smith. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I used to host for a minute. But so yeah, salute to Dave Cappelle for getting his white sneakers turned brown and red from the feet he stuck in old boy's ass. All right. Oh yeah, Star, you was there for us in Vegas last year. It was dope. It was dope seeing Star in Vegas. We're gonna be up in Sacramento, Fairfax, in July. But I want to do a stand-up show before that. Which transitions me to another topic. Yesterday was a hot day on social media. It was a hot day because of what was going on with the Roe versus Wade and the abortion thing. And let me start off by saying I don't give a fuck about Roe or Wade. Only Wade I like was Dwayne Wade. I don't even like Dwayne Wade now. Shit, only Wade I like is Dwayne Wade between 2003 and 2014. That's the only Wade I fuck with. And Roe was a hoe that used anti-black racism to get this whole lawsuit started. Let's play this video. Shouts out to Nicole's View for bringing this, for reminding me of this and tweeting this video back out. We're going to talk about, first of all, how Roe versus Wade was passed. And then we're going to get into my point of view on the whole situation, because I personally, at the end of the day, I do believe a woman should have a right to choose, but I'm not gonna, that ain't nowhere on my political agenda. I'm worried about reparations. Hell, part of the reason why so many abortions in the black community is because black people ain't got no fucking money. You give black people reparations, we ain't gonna worry about no damn Roe or no fucking Wade. It's a racist fucking law that got started. But look at this little interview, an old school interview about how that bullshit ass legislation even got passed. But no. I'm not gonna play the video. No. I don't want no goddamn copyright strikes. So y'all see, this is it. I'm gonna play the audio because last time I played video, they gave my ass a copyright strike. So let me just play the audio and then y'all listen up. What's going on, motherfucker? Let's see, here we go.
Jane Roe's story was a terrible one. She said she had been gang raped, gotten pregnant, was desperate to get an abortion. That's what everyone believed, as long as Jane Roe remained anonymous. When she went public, she told a different story.
You were raped while you were in Georgia?
No, I wasn't.
You were not?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, so all those stories that are in the books and so forth are not true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They're not true.
Right.
And it turned out that lying wasn't the only embarrassment this darling of the pro-choice forces presented. In her personal treatise published last year, Norma McCorvey told the story of her somewhat sordid life. Then she still adamantly supported abortion. Now she adds that to the list of sins she took with her into the baptismal pool.
I've cheated people out of money. I've sold drugs. I was an abusive alcoholic for many years. I've done a lot against his teachings. But I think the far greater sin that I did was to be the plaintiff in Roe versus Wade.
There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. She basically said she was raped by a black man. And that's what got that case pushed through so far to the highest levels of the land. And America's always based its laws, from whether it be outlawing weed to that, on the fear of black men and our plumbing systems. So there's been an uproar because it's been leaked that the Supreme Court is going to overturn the decision. And I know people saying, well, if Ketanji Braxton Jackson, or the fuck Brown her name is, was there, it wouldn't have happened. Not true. First of all, this decision was already, it's not going to be announced until June. But this decision was made when the last justice was still on the court. And he was liberal, so they're replacing liberal with a liberal. The vote would have still gone the same way, even had they waited till the move got made. Super majority of Republican conservatives on the Supreme Court. So a lot of that conservative shit, a lot of them laws that them dirty bastards want, are going to happen and be rolled back, because that's what, no. But at the end of the day, this ain't a black people problem. It's a white people problem, because whether it be a Roe versus Wade, wade in the water, row your boat gently down the stream, wherever the fuck it is, black people always find a way to adjust. Black people, we always find a way to adjust. What's happening is the white man is rolling back progress he gave to his white women. Now these white women trying to recruit every other race of women into their bullshit ass fight. The white man is allowing trans to come in and act like women and get them white women benefits. Trans men, women swimming and shit. Niggas don't really compete in the Olympics like that when it comes to swimming. You got like one or two and the rest of them hoes is white. So they like, you know what? We gonna bring these trans men back in this motherfucker for you white hoes. We ain't gonna let you. And on top of that, you gotta look at a big picture. White America is at a negative birth rate. And these crackers, the ones that run the government, they ain't gonna just let the country die like that. The country as they perceive. It's a book called Death of the West by Patrick Buchanan. Look at it. That gives you insight and detail as to how they think. And for you niggas that be going around I always want to correct people. Hell, last night when I did my YouTube live, I said that book was by Bill O'Reilly. Because I'm dyslexic than a motherfucker. They all white men. Bill O'Reilly, Patrick Buchanan, what's the difference? Bill O'Reilly, Patrick Buchanan, Joe Biden, Adolf Hitler, I don't see a difference. I really don't see a difference. But it's still good to read this book and really get a insight as to how these motherfuckers think. Because this book wasn't a bestseller. It's still not in print for no reason. So living in this type of reality, you knew at some point these motherfuckers were gonna make a move. And this is something else that I be seeing. You always got these random ass white men that want to jump into conversations with black folks. I had this white dude the other day on my Facebook page. You know, I know him through some cool people, you know what I mean? But I don't know him like that. But you know, as a white man, you can't come around us and I don't give a fuck about your point of view. Really, I don't. You're not really allowed to speak amongst us and have a valid point of view. Only thing a white person can say when black people are talking is yes, a boss, is okay, or nothing. And it's not because you're inferior or anything. It's because the only thing you can do to help us out with our situation is go back and deal with other white people. It's the only thing a white person can do when it comes to what black people are dealing with in this country. You guys can't say anything to us. The only thing you can do is say whatever you have to say to us, go back and fix other white people. That's what you can do for us. So this white dude was talking about the abortion rates amongst black women, and how there like been over 20 million aborted black babies over the last such and such and such and such. And I'm like, okay, white dude, chill. Because whatever number of black abortions have happened, you can multiply that by 5 or 10 for white abortions. Like if abortions was about black people, abortions wouldn't exist. This is so white women can be tramps all throughout college, take on 3 men built like He-Man. This is for them. This is so white women can be young, white, and free and start bouncing on dicks at the age of 14, 15 like a lot of them do, and not have early children. This is who this is about. They don't give a fuck about your black ass. Never have, never will. You got some side benefits off this white person ruling. You got some side benefits, yeah. But whatever the fuck black people are going through, white people are usually always going through that shit 10 times worse. 10 times on a bigger scale. So always remind people of that. Whenever you have a white person that want to jump in, what's going on with black people, just put it back on their community. Like, look. I was like, look, dude. Black people ain't got to worry about abortions. Our numbers are fine. White people, y'all at a negative birth rate. Y'all got the real birth dearth going on. So this has everything to do with your community. What did the white dude say in response? Not a goddamn thing. He knew I was right. You ain't gonna pander to me and be like, well, all the 20 million black babies? Well, shit. If it was 20 million black babies, that means it was 160 million white babies that didn't come. And that might be a good thing. That might be a good thing. So let's just tell the truth. Let's just tell the truth. So black people, when it comes to this whole thing, yeah, I personally believe, I don't really get into it. I'm personally cool with women having the right to choose personally. But I'm gonna tell you the goddamn truth. This issue has been fucking up politics for a long time. They go back and forth over this one issue. Don't ever want to talk about reparations. Nigga, nowadays you got more. The freeway system used to be free. Now you got toll roads all across the country. Taxes are crazy. Gas is crazy. Nobody ever, and this is another thing I want to say about that. This is what I got to say about that. What I do want is for women who do support abortion rights, let's make it about abortion rights. Can we stop bringing up, what about people who got raped? Here's why I have an issue with that. Because there's a whole lot of women that support the thing saying, well, what about women who are raped? What about women who are raped? Less than 5% of pregnancies are due to rape. Let's start off by saying that. After that, let's tell the truth. Don't nobody care about rape victims until it comes time for their political agenda to be addressed. Let me say that again. People don't give a fuck about rape victims until their little pet political issue, unless it can be used to further their political pet issue. That's when people care about rape. Nobody give a fuck about rape. Me being somebody who worked in mental health for a long time, I've worked with a lot of victims of rape. Victims of rape don't get the resources and attention and care that they deserve, because nobody give a fuck about them. The only time people care about victims of rape is if they can put Michael Jackson's face on it, or some black nigga, Bill Cosby, or if they're talking about abortion rights. If abortion rights ain't on the table, if Bill Cosby ain't getting talked about, don't nobody give a fuck about rape. I had the great Jayla, the self-esteem queen. She was here in the chat room earlier. I don't know if she's still here. I interviewed her. Oh, there she is. She's right there. When she told her story about being gang raped by the Compton PD, did nobody give a fuck? Overall, people said, oh, that's a tragic story, and then they went back to their lame-ass life. Am I lying, Jayla? You a victim of this shit. I remember on this show here, I did a few profiles on military rape, on how people in the military get raped, and they oftentimes have to report. The person that is in protocol to report to is the person that raped them. So people in our military who sign up to serve this nation and fight and take other people's resources got to worry about getting their asshole taken in the military, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing about it. These motherfuckers are fake, and I don't like fake shit. I'm a real nigga. I like solutions. I don't like playing on people's pains and traumas for my political means. When I say black people, my political agenda is reparations. When I say I need reparations, I'm not gonna run around talking about how this person was, that other person over there was raped. Black men were raped, and that's why we need reparations. No, bitch, we need reparations because we built this fucking country. Yeah, niggas did get raped on a plantation, and that's fucked up. That's a part of why we need reparations. No, but we need reparations because this is a debt that's owed to us because this country was built by our labor and our genius. It wasn't just the labor, it was our genius too. It was us inventing the cotton gin that pushed the United States of America's cotton picking industry ahead of the rest of the world. You see how I made that argument without victimizing somebody else? If you got a real argument, you can make your fucking argument without victimizing a victim. We need serious resources allocated to victims of rape. I mean, if someone's been molested as a child or raped as an adult, they need both mainstream and alternative forms of mental health therapy. They need resources. Some of them may not be able to hold down a job, especially if they're one of those victims who got raped after work. Their brain might be so fucked up they can't go back and forth to a job for a little while, or maybe even ever, because of that trauma. We need social programs for these people who were victims to still be able to make an income for themselves while dealing with the trauma that they face. They don't need you running around saying, we need abortion so I can fuck every dirty, sorry nigga I ever met. And if I don't want to have a baby with him, I get to change my mind. Oh, so let's bring up the woman who got raped, who didn't even... That's some dirty shit that some of you ladies be doing when y'all do that. Let's just tell the whole truth. That's a dirty ass tactic, boy. Do you really care? Now, if you could show me a life, now someone like Jayla lives her life speaking for the victims of rape and human trafficking. So if Jayla, the self-esteem queen, tells me, hey, Dwan, you going a little bit too hard. You know, we victims of rape that have done that. We about this full time. If Jayla says something to me, then I'm going to have to listen. Because she's been through an experience that I haven't. And I got to be sensitive to that. But me being someone who's worked with hundreds of victims of rape, I've never been raped. But that trauma, I'm telling y'all right now, my last job, when I tell you how traumatized I was at that job, I mean, everything happened. I was always a big dude, but my weight ballooned after getting to that job. And I was always a big dude. I'm not saying I was skinny before that job. But the stress, nigga, the sleepless nights, do you know how hard it is to go to bed when a child you work with talks about being molested and his mama knew who the molester was and never said anything? And that child still has to go around the person that molested them at family functions? You know how hard that is to hear? Do you know what it's like to have a child cry in your arms because a family member or somebody they trusted violated them? Talk about some pain. I've never been raped or molested, thank God. But some of the deepest emotional traumas that I carry till this day was being there with a child that talked about being raped. Girls and boys. It's not just girls, it's boys too. And nothing was done? And then in my position, I'm over here trying to get something done. Like, mama, nah. We gotta talk to the police. You gotta get that person. That motherfucker need to get locked up. This kid need more services. And then in the role that I'm in, I'm going to get these people who have been victims of this additional services, running through all kind of roadblocks. And now here you come. Don't give a fuck about victims of rape and child molestation. And you like, what about victims of rape? If you don't sit your monkey ass all the way down, where the fuck was you at when these rape victims needed you? Where are you at on all these people in the military getting raped? when abortion is not the subject? Where are you? Do you at least donate to Jayla and her organization and her cause? Do you buy her candles? Where do you support the people who are out here in the field 24/7 dealing with getting resources for victims of rape? Where are you? As a person who's like myself, who's been out there, and you can see my track record where I've helped these people out. So you can't come to me and say I'm insensitive. I can show you where I put in the work, nigga. So, yeah, incest survivors, there's some real shit out there, man. And this kind of work don't even pay that good. So I don't want to hear that shit. Nowadays, with this situation, the Supreme Court made their decision. If you want to fight for this, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. But I'm not going to join in because we have deeper issues. The majority of people that abort is due to financial reasons. Reparations. Gotta tell you one thing, when it comes to abortion, you don't see people who making babies by doctors. People who making babies by people that make bread, you don't see them running to get abortions. Abortions is cool. But I ain't seen none of the chicks that Nick Cannon getting impregnated trying to abort shit. Oh, if that nigga got the money and the resources, we ain't even having this conversation about abortions. And that's another thing reason why I wanted to bring this conversation up today. You gotta watch who you let spraying you raw. Just like as a man, you gotta watch who you spraying. Because for us, there is no recourse. It's her right to choose, fine. If she chooses to keep it, whether you want it or not, you're on the hook financially. And if you don't pay, they're going to take away your driver's license, your passport, and your ability to work. I remember somebody Larry know that we was talking about had a good paying job offer, well into the 6 figures, but couldn't get it because the brother was behind on his child support. Why was he behind on his child support? He got let go from his last job. Still took care of his kids. Still saw his kids. Just couldn't make that bill for a few months. And got behind. So when he had a chance to catch back up and get a 6-figure job, they used the fact that he was behind to not hire the nigga. Men don't have any recourse after they nut. Just, that's it. It's your body. Cool. So we're very aware. Men are very aware of the consequences of the decisions you make with who you sleep with. And I think that overall, women can do a better job of picking who they sleep with. That's just true. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say all women are bad, but I am here to say some of y'all be letting some of the weirdest ass, weakest ass niggas spraying y'all. I know. We see, especially when you're in your early 20s, you see this shit. In your early 20s, when you're a man before you get established in life financially, you see the women smashing all them loser ass niggas. And you be like, you let DeRay fuck? What? We'll pass right by the two niggas trying to make it in college and go right to them old sorry ass niggas. It was an article that came out in the CDC. When the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, talked about what's going on and male fertility. The CDC did a report 2014, on male fertility. In the report, they talking about men. They talking about men and our fertility and how, look at this. This is in the millions. Only 60.1% of men are fathers. That means 39%, rounded up to 40. 40% of men don't have children. Have children with more than one person. 8.7. Margin of error 0.3. So basically 9. It's only 9 out of 100 men having babies with multiple women. So as a man that has made good decisions with my life, I'm not going to allow women who sleep with the same niggas to point fingers at all men. Truth is, it's a handful of men fucking all the ladies. That's just how it's always been. Most men got a couple chicks that they smashing and they doing their thing with. Most men are full of shit and they ain't got none. When niggas be talking about all these women that they got, most of them niggas is lying. First of all, a lot of these niggas ain't fucking nobody. And then you got other ones who got a couple that, they got their girlfriend, or if they single, they got 2 or 3 chicks that they playing around with. They got 2 or 3 chicks that they playing around with. But they know to put the condom on, or to make sure she on the pill or whatever. There's certain people, and Larry know who I'm talking about when I say that. I'm not going to say brother's name. I'm not going to say his name. Larry know who I'm talking about. But this is one brother we know. This motherfucker, every chick that come around, he got to stick his dick in her. And we be like, nigga, you doing too much. Nigga got babies on this side of town. Niggas got babies on that side of town. And we got really hella cool with dude. But once we really saw how he get down, having babies all over town, we don't really kick it with him like that no more. That's not a behavior that most men accept. It's cool, you do me, you do you, I do me. But that ain't nothing really we big up. Like, nigga, what are you doing? And then we looking at the women like, y'all know this nigga a hoe, right? Y'all know this nigga is a dirty dick motherfucker. And you still about to let him hit? And you know he got babies all around town? What, really, nigga? That's the kind of stuff that needs to be fixed. And most women don't do this. The problem is the women with their heads on their straight generally are very quick to defend the women who are like this. If it's one lesson, I can't speak for ladies. I can't tell women what to do. That message has to come from a woman. But if you want some advice, some outside advice to consider observing what the men do. The men don't support degenerate men. Women, you don't have to support every degenerate woman out there. I know you've been traumatized. I know that what white supremacy and what you guys call misogyny, but it's really white supremacy. I know what it's done to you to make you kind of herd into groups and to defend one another. But let's be real. Women, overall, y'all don't like each other anyway. Y'all don't watch the WNBA. Y'all don't really support each other like that. Women, for the most part, don't really fuck with each other like that. It's not until a man says something about a low-grade level chick. Now here come all the women. She should still have the right to be a degenerate. She can be a tramp all she wants. All right. All right. You got to be very calculated about who and what you defend. Like black folks, we can't run around defending these niggas that shoot up the neighborhood. Now, we ain't gonna be on no Boyce Watkins bullshit. Now, what about black on black crime? We ain't gonna necessarily do that. But when the subject is what's going on with gang culture in our community, if y'all watched Craig Facts yesterday, we had a dope conversation about that. About how as men, you know, we gotta, you know, these gangsta ass niggas wandering around with your pants sagging, nigga, you in your 40s still talking all that shit, and you ain't contributed nothing back to society. You don't get no credit for that. You don't get no credit for being a saggy pants thug that ain't doing shit. You don't get no credit for being a man that makes babies that you don't take care of. You's a bitch. Them kind of men aren't accepted. You ain't never gonna see no man walk around a group of men and be like, yeah, dog, yeah, shit. I just got these J's because I ain't pay that child support, nigga. I didn't pay that child support, nigga. Give me them new J's. Give me that shirt. I just bought these rims because I ain't paid that bitch a motherfucking thing in 10 months, nigga. You ain't never gonna hear us talking like that. If a dude ever came around talking like that, somebody, if not a few bodies, are gonna pull that nigga card. Like, nigga, that shit ain't cool around us. And when women talk about them kind of men, we ain't gonna defend them sorry ass niggas. Yeah, them niggas ain't shit. Fuck them. Can't defend everybody. So what happens is women spend more energy defending low-grade women than they spend really defending the integrity of our children. Black children get the least amount of defense in black society. You ever think about that? Like, I could talk about the IEP problem and the special education problem that's literally causing menticide on our black children, specifically black boys. And when it comes to a lot of the ladies, unfortunately, if they have a child in this, they'll understand. But if their child ain't involved, the same feminists that'll go 10 tones down for abortion rights, if their own child ain't a victim of it, they'll ho-hum any news about how the school system is causing menticide on our black children. Suicide rates are at an all-time high. Depression in our children is at an all-time high. What response do you get from the feminist mothers? Ho-hum, ho-hum. hum ho, hum ho. I ain't talking about all the women. I'm talking about these feminist chicks. You get a ho hum response to the complete degradation to the minds of our children going on in the school system. But bring up some chicks that want to get run through and then use abortion as a method of birth control. She has the right. You're a man, you can't say anything. You're wrong. You're wrong. My body, my choice. Unless we're talking about a vaccine mandate, then it ain't your body, your choice. But that's another topic. If we can get this kind of passion dedicated to the education and the upliftment of black boys and girls, if we can put this much passion and fever behind the proper raising of our children, and I don't even have kids. People with kids should be more passionate about this than I am. If we can get more energy behind a white woman's right to sit on a dozen dicks in a dozen days, you got more energy behind that than the mental side of the children, then that means something's out of order. Something is out of order. All right, Quan said, black women, please stop calling yourself feminists. Yeah. So if we really care about our children, let's care about our children who are alive and their hearts are beating. I think that's low-key what some people are mad at. You're going to actually have to raise something. The children that they are, and there's another argument they make. White men they want them kids to come here, but don't care about them after they're already here. Well, that's true. It's very true. Unfortunately, that's true. It's also true of too many parents. My IEP business, part of the reason why I had to rework my IEP business and start bringing in other programs, I don't, people oftentimes cannot afford, or they can't afford, they definitely can't afford. People don't want to pay for what they need. I'm over here. This is my website, breakthroughas.org. Visit it right now. Want to talk about my IEP support? This is what started my company, but I had to make pivots and start integrating other programs because parents who can't afford me, I'm not cheap, but I'm affordable still. $125 an hour, you can afford that if your child's education is that important. $175 an hour, I'm up. That's where I am now. I was at $125 an hour. You can afford that if your child's education is important, but it ain't, because you'll not pay my fee to get your child placed in the right school system, in the right school stream, in the right education support. But you'll buy that same kid the same pair of Jordans in two different colors, or the same pair of LeBrons in 2 or 3 different colorways. You vote with your wallet. And to get people to pay to get there. Now, when I was doing this shit for free for a nonprofit, Man, I had IEPs lined up and down the wall when I was at the nonprofit. I've been in hundreds of IEP meetings from the nonprofit. I can hook people up with resources on getting their children in the right education curriculum. Oh, if it's free, they all with it. The minute they gotta pay, crickets. So don't talk to me about people caring, because this situation could come up. And if I did, I can tell you right now, if I do a video tomorrow and it says, and the title is, because y'all can go back and look. I can't even think of the exact title, but I've done titles in the past where I've had to go back and retitle the show. Well, the initial title would be, one show I did in particular about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, Black children are in a state of emergency with the school system. I remember that video had like 800 views. The videos I was doing about social commentary, 5,000-6,000 views. The video about Black children in a state of emergency, 800 views. I mean, if I'm talking about some real shit like that, I gotta go back and retitle the shit. Somebody slapped the shit out of somebody else, and then maybe you niggas will listen. So, yeah, that's the world we live in right now. That's the world we live in. I appreciate that, Great Black Shark. Appreciate you moderators. I'm not really looking at the chat room much, but I see y'all just sniped out somebody. Appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do. I didn't have Quanah Star last night in my live, and I had some spammers come, some people in there mad at me for talking about Dave Chappelle and then when I started talking about abortions last night, I'm like, what do I do? I ain't got my snipers in here. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, bro, 45 niggas want to be entertained. I'm all about solutions, man. That's why I'm writing my book right now on loving communication. How to speak with love to your family members, to your spouse. How to have constructive, non-confrontational work relationships. How to get along with people at work. That's what this book is about. Because I believe in helping motherfuckers. And I believe in fixing shit. And I ain't talking about that kind of help where I come around and say 2 words and then have a photo op. I ain't talking about that weak, weird shit. I'm talking about actually doing things that can give someone tangible tangible results, which may include resources. So when I see people coming over here being part-time, fake-ass helpers, really out for themselves, I don't have time for you. And I ain't got no patience for you. Victims of rape need our help. We shouldn't have to wait until this comes across a political agenda you believe in to move. This is some shit that we all should move on because it's the right thing to do. Nobody should be violated sexually. If you care about the people who are violated sexually, then do something about it when the cameras aren't on. Okay? And if you can't do something about it, donate to these nonprofits. Donate to Jayla and what she does. Be her benefactor. She out there doing good work. If you one of them rich people out there that have a lot of money and you could be someone's benefactor who's out on the line doing this stuff. You might not be able to get out there and do it and roll your sleeves up and do it, because you got your own life and your own things that you're doing. That's understandable. But you can support somebody who does. That's what you can do. And if you ain't willing to do that, then I ain't willing to hear you when your little bullshit ass political agenda come around. And you use these groups of people for your political gain. I'm not willing to hear you. Because if you had an argument worth standing on, you should be able to say it without using a victim as your shield, as your pawn. You're right, I do need to add more moderators. I don't be on the YouTube side. Usually I'm running this shit through a secondary program, so I don't really be on the YouTube page like that. Let me sign into the YouTube page, and I'm gonna add you, BB, as a moderator. I'm doing that right now. You're right. I need to add some moderators. Every now and again, people be hitting me up about adding moderators, and I don't be thinking about it because, you know, I had some people asking me in a way. I'm like, nigga, are you here because you support the channel, or are you here because you want a wrench wreck next to your name? Like, which one is it? Some people get like that, and I don't get it. Because whether you're a moderator or not a moderator, I look at you, I got love for all you motherfuckers in the chat room. Yeah, I appreciate that, Brooklyn Winterflower. I try to teach. I try to spread information. Not because I know it all, because I'm always learning shit. And I'm always trying to be a better person. I'm always trying to be a better person. And I like substance. I don't like talking about it. I like being about it. I don't like talking about it. I like being about it. And I like those who are about it. And when you being about it, you don't have to wait until the political agenda that fancies your hide comes around. You could be proactive and support these things when it doesn't benefit you one bit. My personal political agenda is reparations. But I 100,000 million% respect and support victims of molestation and rape. They need our support and our help. When abortion is not the subject. We all family. We all family. And salute to Dave Cappelle for browning up his white shoes from sticking them shoes all up in that motherfucker's ass. Salute to Dave Cappelle. You're right, Black Santa. We do need more family structure. And that's what this is about. Maybe this law will force us to make better decisions. Maybe that's what this law is going to do. But I got to get ready for my interview with this Canadian news station. I'm about to see what this interview's about. I got to set up my camera. They want me to be on camera. So I gotta set my camera up and see what this whole news thing is about, and give them my opinion and my perspective on Dave Chappelle in this situation. So get your t-shirts at hotepish.com/shop. The book is coming out real soon. Live show will be coming at y'all. Appreciate everybody in the chat room. I'm over here giving out wrenches, and I didn't even give Jayla a wrench. There you go, Jayla. Salute to the new moderators in the room. Great Black Shark, Emmanuel Heath, Jayla. Shouts out BB Gaines. Shouts out BB Bolger. Shouts out to my 4 new moderators. I'm gonna add Chris too. That's my nigga right there. Been knowing Chris since the 3rd grade. I trust that brother. I trust Chris in real life. Like, man, I've been knowing Chris since what, 1989, nigga? But yeah, I appreciate y'all for joining. And remember this: there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. All right? Time to go talk shit to these folks. Y'all have a good one.